Hello and welcome to another episode of BTV. I'm Marcus Boston.
And I'm Renee Boston.
And today we want to talk about an issue that you see a lot, well, you're starting to see a lot more of, especially with celebrities, but this question was asked to us about just regular people too, regular everyday people going through the same thing, and it's from the child custody point of view, and to add to that, the man's point of view from the child custody side. A lot of times people think that just because the mother is the mother, that the mother is going to automatically get some type of advantage when we talk about child custody. And the big issue that's been in the news, specifically the celebrity side over the last couple of months, is the Deion Sanders and
Pilar Sanders. And if you're not sure, they had a pretty nasty divorce, Renee? Yeah, and I think they're still kind of going through most of the issues with the settlement agreement as well. But as you said, the biggest issue and the biggest concern for some has been, it's been a shift in the court. Years and years and years ago, decades ago, it was generally presumed that the mother, keeping the children in the care and the custody of the mother, was in the best interest. However, the best interest standard has changed and has kind of modified and changed with the times, so that way mom is not necessarily the best custodial parent for the child. Take, for instance, with the Usher Raymond divorce and settlement over the past few years that finally ended with him receiving sole custody of his two young sons, and I think their sons are like 4 and 5 or something like that. So Usher is now the sole custodian of those children. Deion Sanders, in his divorce recently, he was awarded custody of the sons, but his wife was awarded custody of the daughter. I think the daughter was a little older. So I'm not sure the specifics as to the issues regarding the Deion Sanders case, other than I believe there were some allegations that there were some kind of domestic violence that occurred with, Pilar allegedly struck Deion in front of the boys, and maybe that may be why the judge did what he or she did. But that was that was in the rumor mill.
Mm-hmm. Well, and to bring this back to specifically the issues that we have here in Maryland with our clients, because this is something that you see a lot of this with your female clients who are going through this process and thinking kind of that they have a slight advantage because their mother, and that the Maryland courts are just going to give them, going to allow them to have custody and give the father visitation automatically just because they're the mother.
Well, what we have to tell our clients when we first come in is that what you think you know about family law, get it out of your head, because nothing is guaranteed. Just because you're the mother does not mean that you're going to get custody of your children first and foremost. You can't just exclude the husband or the father of the children just simply because
I don't like him, right? I don't like But he's no good.
That's not what the court uses as a standard.
Right.
The best interest standard is somewhat of a legal fiction. There's no magic issues that need to be, there's no magic number of things that need to be addressed or any points that you can be scored in order to determine who's going to get the custody of the children. The issues that the court can look at several different factors, and there are a ton of them, but it's also how the children interact with the parents, as well as what each parent has going for him or her, and any kind of change in the children's present custodial situation. The court will use that as a factor too. So if one parent is more stable than the other, just because you're mom, but you're living from house to house, or you don't have a job, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get custody just because you're mom. A lot of things are taken into consideration as well, including mom, you're here for a while, but once you separate from father, you have to move somewhere else. Well, the court may not want the child's life interrupted, right, and may give custody to dad because dad is stable, dad is going to stay here, and you're going to leave and go elsewhere. That is kind of what happened, I believe, with the Dwayne Wade situation. He and his wife were in Miami, and when they were going through their divorce, she said that she would be moving back to their hometown, Chicago, where they're from, to go back to school. Well, I think the judge awarded Dwayne full custody of the sons, because mom was headed back to Chicago.
And the children, and this is also important too, the age of the children and what they have going on. Are they in school? Are they enrolled? Are they getting ready to start school? How are they doing in school? A lot of people forget that when you have a wife and you have a husband and you have the children, there's three interests that you have to deal with in these types of cases, right? And I think what a lot of the shock was initially from the celebrity standpoint, because you're starting to see these men, and it's not just celebrity men. I mean, it's the law in Maryland has changed on this issue, and so this would mean then that regular, ordinary people like me, everyday.
In Maryland, the court now spells it out. The mother is no longer presumed to be the best custodial person for the child.
So it has to be a better analysis.
Right.
You have to go ahead and look to see, okay, what does the mother have going on in her life right now? What does the father have going on in his life right now? What is truly in the best interest of the child at this point? There has to be an analysis done.
Exactly. Like I said, there are numerous factors that the court takes into consideration to determine what custodial arrangement is in the best interest of the child. The court can order sole custody to one parent or the other. The court can order joint custody to both parents, or split, or this parent is allowed to make day-to-day decisions regarding the child. This parent is allowed to make long-term decisions regarding the child. So each and every case is different. Each and every factor is different. So you have to take everything in consideration before when you address the issues towards the court. Remind you, just because he wants one thing and she wants the other, does not necessarily mean the court's going to give either party whatever they want. The court can just come up with their own, and I've seen this happen quite frequently too. They come up with their own resolution to any and every case.
And I know, especially with the Dion thing, that was kind of out of nowhere, because they had been married for a long time. They had been together for such a long time. Him and his wife, right?
I think close to 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, so and we know in celebrity world, that's rare.
That's like 100 years.
That's 100 years. I mean,
especially when you got marriages that are lasting
72 days
and 45 days.
72 days. Who's 45?
I think Chad Ochocinco / Johnson, or whatever he wants to be called this week, and Headbutton, and Evelyn Champagne King. What's Evelyn's last name? Evelyn Lozado. Okay. I think they beat Kim and Chris's record. I think they were a little shorter than that. I think it was 40-something days.
40-something days. I mean, 40-something days. That's. I mean, what can you do in 40-something days? I mean, 40 days. That's.
It's whatever it was.
What is that?
I don't know.
So I mean, we've been married now over 5 years. Is that an eternity in the celebrity world then, I guess?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm telling you. Well, if you have any questions for us that you would like us to answer regarding family issues, domestic issues here in Maryland, or personal injury issues, or you'd like us to do a podcast on social issues that are relevant to what we have going on, you can just send us an email at info@bostonlawllc.com. Again, that's info@bostonlawllc.com, or you can give us a call at 301-850-4832. Again, that's 301-850-4832. And let us know what's kind of on your mind, or what you got going on, and what you would like us to talk about. Anything else, Renee, before we wrap this one up? We're coming in on about 10 minutes, I believe.
No, all I want to say is husbands, fathers, baby daddies, baby mamas, baby mamas, whatever. Pay attention to your situation. I mean, your kid is not a pawn. Your kid is not a toy. Your kid is not an object to be used. Your kid is someone that you produce, that you need to love, care, and respect. So really think about the situation you're in regarding your children.
That's a pretty good closing word, better than what I would have come up with. So again, I'm Marcus Boston.
And I'm Renee Boston.
And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You have just listened to a podcast from the trial attorneys at Boston Law Group, LLC. For more information, you can reach us at 301-850-4832. 888-328-4832. And if you would like us to answer a question in one of our podcasts, send us an email at info@bostonlawllc.com. Thank you and have a great day.